Coach, you're locked into the NFL.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be Jacoby Brissett under center for the Colts. He, of course, made 15 starts in Andrew Luck's absence 2 years ago. Not much required of him last year. He threw just 4 passes total. But that experience as a starter, very valuable in this learning process. Brissett on first down. Able to find the rookie from Ohio State, Paris Campbell. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Anthony Costanzo is a former first-round pick who's just quietly gone about his business of trying to be the best tackle he can. Good footwork, lots of grit and determination, and he works hard each and every game trying to keep his quarterback clean and help move some people in the run game.
They go play action with Brissett. And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's got us.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. Accelerating, and off he goes. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. A first down throw for Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless. Coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Well, this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there for Indy. And even 50 yards. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. From the gun, here's Brissett. His pass caught at the 4. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Brissett. And the pressure gets to him again. Whitney Merciless able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Vinatieri's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And some space here. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. Pierre Desir in on the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
Let's go.
Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, here's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. But for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the 16, Watson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Carlos Hyde, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brissett.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
First down, Brissett. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Brissett sets to throw it to the right side to Eric Ebron. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw is Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
We got this.
Marlon Mack now heading back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, 2nd half. Let's do it. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
53's the mark. 50.
And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go to Johnson again. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Get ready. Get on 54. Slap.
On 1st down, Miller. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Let's go, let's go. Number 53, Mike 53. Hey, 59. Watch the eye.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Carlos Hyde with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70%.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Flush to his right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Margus Hunt able to take him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They come out here in the eye.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day. Time to go.
They'll run. Hyde. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and goal from the 1. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Let's go. Let's go.
From the gun, here's Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that drive in total 8 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
To throw, Brissett. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Mack. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Jones. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Margus Hunt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Back to throw, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Margus Hunt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out of there. Taking on the midfield logo. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. 2nd down and goal. Brissett, and he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run on 1st down. Hyde. And the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Left side, Doyle with it.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 26. Brissett now. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Caught left side by Hilton. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's Brissett trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Houston, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will head back home next week.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. No longer play me. No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. Wanna run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, stay by my side. We gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. And we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. If I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull off. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown.
They should take it to 10.
Hey.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird. mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh?
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
Since I was legit, ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit, X slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip, crush.
watch out, cuz I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist. Car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip.